Deity, a supper club and nightclub on Atlantic Avenue in Burham Hill, was established in 2007 by Caillou Dunson and his wife Christine. While it is unclear what the original purpose of the building was, in 1917 it was converted into a synagogue.
It was about 40 years ago when it was deconsecrated, and it was kind of at a time in this community where everybody was kind of hurting and the neighborhood was kind of on a downward trend. The main floor was so rotted and decayed that it was basically dirt. The only thing that was good that attracted to me about it was the bones of the building. The walls were great. There weren't any cracks in the brick. Didn't look like anything was settling anywhere. And obviously the facade, the front of the building. So we had kind of an empty canvas to work with besides that, which was kind of appealing in a way.
I asked Caillou if people ever tell him they are offended that he converted a house of worship into a nightclub.
We didn't get any of that. We get a lot of questions, people asking us if people are concerned about it. But I think the real reason that we don't is because we took a building that was completely dilapidated and needed a lot of TLC and completely refurbished it. So we kind of kept the integrity of the building. So I think most people in the neighborhood were glad to see us do something with it. We kind of played with the whole God and Goddess thing on the restrooms. You got Goddess and God here. This window obviously was not here. I just wanted to be able to watch people as they came into the club, and this is actually where I like to sit when I'm here at the bar. When things start to fill up, we have people just kind of coming down the space and heading to the underground. We try to keep a lot of the theme of the building consistent, so we incorporated a lot of stuff into the lights in the bar. This is a hexagonal light. We had an electrical guy come in and create the webbing. We wanted it to kind of look like a spider web with dew on it and sunlight behind it. And we just didn't want to do something stereotypical like a disco ball in the middle of the floor because it just didn't seem to be appropriate.
I like the name, because like I said, I've never been here, but it fits because it's deity and like the god and goddess, and I love like the bar, how it looks. I like it. It's got a nice theme.
Because of changes in demographics, many Brooklyn synagogues now serve other purposes. Last year, historian and teacher Ellen Levitt wrote a book documenting these buildings, including this one, which used to be called Talmud Torah. Aside from its uniqueness as the only synagogue-turned-nightclub that Levitt knows of, she also said that the one-time synagogue is unique because the area was never a Jewish neighborhood.
You know, the Star of David, also was a hexagram that was used for other reasons too, kind of a little more pagan-based, more goddess and earthbound and that sort of thing, which is definitely right up my alley. And so that's why we kind of kept with that theme and kept with the hexagram, like have a hexagonal bar in the middle of the bar. The gods and goddesses are all the stained glass that are on the walls. That's exactly kind of the thing that we were going for. It's not just true to the building, but it's definitely true to kind of how I look at life. So now we're on the upstairs, the top apartment. Same thing, we had a lot of things that we did that we tried to keep the general look of the building and the space, and it was way more work than it looks. And this is a good example. The easiest thing would have been, and what the architect wanted to do, was just cut all those arches out and just have one big window in the space. Cost a lot less money to do, be a lot less hassle. But I wanted to keep the arches not just because of how it looked on the inside, but also how it looked from the outside. So let's walk through the space here. We kind of keep it open because it's loft, obviously, and we wanted it to kind of feel open. I mean, we stayed true to the building. It has like a good spiritual vibe. We always say that if there's any ghosts in the building, they're all good ghosts because it never feels weird here. And I always like to think that the building is thankful for all the work we did to bring it back to the way it looked before. Do I feel this is my own temple? And I would say absolutely 100% yes.